Good morning, everyone. It's Baltimore County Executive Johnny Olszewski, and I am pleased to be part of the Greater Baltimore Committee's 66th annual meeting. As we celebrate the work of the GBC this past year, I want to thank you for being leaders and advocates for our area's businesses, nonprofits, foundations, as well as educational and civil institutions. No one could have prepared for what unfolded this past year, and the toll this pandemic has taken on our business community has been immense. As we reflect on the sacrifices and the challenges brought on by the pandemic, we also recognize those who have stepped up to help others. And despite the uncertainty, the Greater Baltimore Committee continues to work for the interests of business and civic communities. The GBC continues to examine the challenges and assist with solutions. Thank you for leading us on the path to recovery. I also want to take this opportunity to thank our frontline workers, healthcare professionals, and all essential employees. To the frontline workers who protect and care for others to provide essential services every day, our gratitude cannot be overstated. To the healthcare workers, we owe each and every one of you so much for your strength and resiliency. You have risked your lives to ensure that patients are treated with dignity and kindness during a time when their families couldn't be with them. Thanks to all of you, and thank you again to the GBC for your commitment and leadership.
Hey, this is Mayor Brandon Scott, and I'm excited to bring greetings to the 66th annual meeting of the Greater Baltimore Committee. I hope you and your families are staying healthy and safe during these unprecedented times. From business development to advocacy, GBC represents more than 500 businesses, nonprofits, foundations, and educational institutions that make up the Baltimore that we know and love, and have played an instrumental role in supporting Baltimoreans through the COVID-19 pandemic. I want to take a special moment to not only thank GBC, but to also thank our healthcare workers, frontline workers, and others who have tirelessly worked during this pandemic. COVID has been hard on us all, but their dedication to Baltimoreans has not wavered. Our frontline workers have been with us every step of the way, and we greatly appreciate them. I wish all of you the best during this momentous occasion. I look forward to reaching the other side of this pandemic so that we may be together again in person in the near future. Thank you.
I'd like to thank the Greater Baltimore Committee for giving me this opportunity to say really two special words. Thank you. And a thank you at this time, and it's also a shout out, goes to our healthcare workers and all those that are on the front line taking care of our community. I'm talking to you as a commissioner. I said I'd be talking to you also as a leader, as a military veteran, but really I'm talking to you as a community member and as a neighbor. In the military, we do have a term, one team, one fight. And there's no prouder time to be a Marylander to see all of our healthcare providers and all of those first responders in this one team, one fight, as they're running towards the fires of this pandemic and keeping our community healthy and safe while others are standing by. I think the best thing that we can do is show our appreciation by wearing the mask, by doing the right things, and by then saying thank you. Thank you to those that care so much to serve us.
2020 brought us together. We didn't always agree with one another about how to get where we needed to be, but we all shared the same vision: to stop the spread of COVID-19 and to keep people fed, housed, and employed. Our biotech industry delivered a vaccine. Our healthcare industry saved lives. Our restaurants were pummeled, but stepped up to feed people. Each large problem that I've had success confronting in my career had one thing in common: businesses were engaged. Government sometimes plays a role, but businesses always do. As America becomes ambitious once again about infrastructure, poverty, our environment, jobs, our region is poised to deliver. In Anne Arundel County, we're adopting a smart growth agenda that better connects us to our neighbors to the north and depends on a thriving Baltimore City. We will grow walkable, livable communities just a short train ride from downtown Baltimore. At the Cromwell Station in North County, Odin Station near Fort Meade, and Laurel at the Howard County border. Our year-round racetrack at Laurel will support the Pimlico and Park Heights rebirth. My point is that we are in a time of extraordinary opportunity. There is so much that we can do together, and I am so grateful that Greater Baltimore Committee exists as a forum to make these things happen. So if you have a big idea that solves a problem in Arundel County or the region, give me a ring sometime. Let's make progress together.
This is County Executive Barry Glassman from Harford County. I'd just like to take a second to thank all of those frontline workers, our healthcare providers, our first responders, everyone that has been so dedicated to protecting our communities against this pandemic that's ravaging across the state of Maryland and all our counties. I hope that we begin to see the other side as our vaccination process progresses, but I want to thank everyone for their dedication to protecting all our citizens. And we pray that you stay safe and that you're able to return to your families and return to your communities as soon as possible. God bless you, and thanks again.
I want to join my colleagues and friends at the Greater Baltimore Committee and express my sincere thanks and appreciation to our healthcare workers, public safety teams, and all those on the front lines who have labored tirelessly for more than a year to combat the COVID-19 pandemic in our community. Your dedication, kindness, courage, and selflessness, as well as compassion, are humbling, and they have truly been a guiding light in the face of this adversity. They've put themselves at risk to save others. You've sacrificed so much to care for us, and you are the true embodiment of heroism. I also want to thank all the members of our community who have stepped up to lend a hand to our brothers and sisters in need. Those struggling with food insecurity, those who feel isolated, those who have lost jobs, those who can't pay their rent, mortgage, or other household bills. This is when a community doesn't just talk about its values. This is when a community lives its values. We've undergone great change during the past year. We've been forced to adjust and adapt to new ways of doing things. I know we are stronger because of the way we face these challenges together and supported each other. We're coming through this pandemic as a more resilient, loving, and caring community. Let us aspire to ensure that the lessons of this past year are written into the legacy we leave for future generations.